I'm sure we can all agree that the stock market in 2020 was pretty much the craziest market of all time. We had that massive drop off from the virus and everything like that, and then we had the V-shaped recovery, and now we're sitting at all-time highs with the pandemic still going on, and the stock market just keeps on going up. So what is my plan for trading and investing in 2021? That is what I'm going to be talking about in this video, just how I'm reducing risk, how I'm playing off the stock market, and just my plan going forward. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, in 2020, my style was going very aggressive. I was playing a ton of options, going very heavy into some certain stocks, not super diversified, of course, just playing off the hot sector, playing off all these hype stocks that were just going up like crazy, and it was pretty easy to make money in 2020. Now, towards the end of this year, we've seen the stock market have a couple dips, but it still has kept going up. The market still has not seen any major drop off. So is there a chance of that in 2021? I do think there's a pretty good chance that we have a correction, but I don't expect any crash in 2021. Even though the stock market is so highly valued right now, even with everything going on, the stimulus is boosting the stock market. Of course, the Fed printing money, this is boosting the stock market and everything, but a big change that we've had is so many new investors coming in. People have been stuck at home picking up the hobby of investing, and there are just so many new investors in the market, so much more money in the market overall, and for that reason, I do think there's been a fundamental change going within the stock market, and that is just the influx of all the new investors. So people are saying that the stock market is so highly valued due for the biggest crash in history that we ever had. I do disagree with that because there's been that big change of all the new investors going in. But could we see correction? Could we see a lot of panic selling because there's a lot of beginners? I do think that is a likely scenario at some point in 2021. I also don't think that the market's going to keep going up the way that it has been going up and how fast it has. It's almost daily that the stock market's green. It's pretty rare that we see a red day. We probably see 1 to 2 red days per week and the rest green. So the majority is very green. We're pretty much sitting at all-time highs in the market right now. We've hit all-time highs repeatedly, time after time. It seems like every time we get to an all-time high, we then have a little dip, maybe a 1% drop off. Then we do continue back, hit all-time highs again, little drop, and it just keeps on going up. So this has been one of the fastest bull markets in history. We're all used to it. We're all surprised when we see red days. And a big saying right now is buy the dip. Even like the days that the market goes down 0.5%, 1%, everybody is saying buy this dip. And while right now the market is so bullish that we can keep doing that, there's going to be a point where we get the dip, where we get this 1% dip, 5% dip, everybody's saying buy the dip, and if the market keeps on going down, there's going to be a lot of panic selling, and for that reason, I do think we could see a correction just from a valuation standpoint. Also, a big risk right now is the new strain of the virus. It is very likely, I would give it a 70 to 80% chance, which is just my personal opinion, just a guess, that this vaccine will be able to cure the new strain as well, and it won't make a difference to the vaccine. Let's say that small 10 to 20% chance or so that the vaccine cannot get rid of this new strain of the virus, we could see a massive stock market freakout. Just the fact that people would be thinking, could we go another lockdown? Could this last another year as they develop a new vaccine? Now, that is a scenario that we do have to be aware of. A big part of going into 2021, I'm trying to be aware of all the potential scenarios that could play out. Another scenario that could play out is the mortgage crisis. There's not enough stimulus checks, there's not enough employment benefits to support the people paying their mortgage, paying their rent. A scenario that is possible in 2021 is a real estate correction where real estate prices go down, and the stock market usually follows the real estate market, but is a delayed reaction. So let's say we get this mortgage crisis, the real estate market goes down, housing prices drop, let's say 10% or so. We could see a scenario where the stock market goes down 10% or so a month later, gradually, just because it is historically the stock market and the real estate market is connected, and if the real estate market does go down, the stock market is very likely to follow in that footsteps. So that's another potential scenario, and of course there's many other downside scenarios. Now on the other hand, there are more upside scenarios. There's a lot of rumors going around that in 2021 we could be getting a multi-trillion-dollar stimulus at some point in 2021, which would obviously shoot the market back up to all-time highs faster than ever. We could see a huge travel boom with people being stuck at home. Everybody's going to want to be traveling, go on vacations. Once this vaccine does complete its rollout, everybody gets the cure. And then we can live life as normal, and people go crazy, going to concerts, going on vacations, and the market and the economy is just as strong as ever. That is a pretty likely scenario happening in 2021, as long as no crisis happens again or anything like that. Now, of course, we can speculate all the time. We could go through all these scenarios of bear market scenarios, bull market scenarios, but what is my plan going in? So, in 2020, I was being very aggressive in the market, playing a bunch of options, playing penny stocks. everything like that. Now my strategy in going 2021, I've already started doing this. I've lowered position sizes and options drastically and been playing a lot less options than I was earlier in the year. A big focus of mine now is reducing risk, going more towards shares than options. Probably a majority of my portfolio at a good amount of times in 2020 was the fact that probably half my portfolio or more was just pure options, pure leverage, lots of margin. And in 2021, I don't think the market's going to allow us to make money as easy as it was in 2020. So I am being aware, not being too bullish on the market, but also not being bearish on the market. So right now, just focusing mainly on shares and also still playing options, but smaller amounts instead of having like 30 to 40 contracts like I was doing in 2020. A lot of my option position sizes are now like in between 1 and 5 contracts per option just for risk management, and the majority of my holdings are in shares. Like I was saying, I would not be surprised if we see a correction sometime in 2021, and risk management is going to be key going in, being very smart with your trades, having that hard stop loss in, having those clear patterns that to play off of, having your price target to take profits, and having that stop loss area. That is going to be key going into 2021, going with those high probability setups, going into every trade with a plan. In 2020, it was very easy, especially in like mid 2020, June, July, August, that area, pretty much everything went up. We could pick penny stocks were flying 100% per day. Option prices were flying, premiums would take off every green day. But I do not think that is going to continue like it has in 2020 within this next year. So it is going to be more important than ever to have those risk management methods, stop loss, position sizes, averaging into positions. This is one of the most important things. Instead of going fully into a position, a very important strategy that I personally use is going into positions but averaging in. Let's say you want to build out a position of 200 shares in a stock. Instead of buying 200 shares on the first dip you see, the first buying opportunity, it could go down more. So what you want to do here is average in. Maybe buy 50 shares 4 different times and just average in. If it goes up, you can still buy. And if it goes down, that's even better. You can go heavier in. You can go 50, 100, and then 50 when it starts that reversal. Or a scenario like that. One of the strategies that I personally use is called the 40-30-30 method. So averaging into position, you start out with 40% of that position size on the first buying opportunity you see. So let's say, for example, I'm trying to build out a position of 100 shares. First off, the first buy that I have will be 40 shares. The next time, if it goes down or if it goes up, confirms that reversal, the next buy-in will be 30 shares. And then the next buying opportunity or the next breakout, I'll add to that position 30 more shares. So you get that 40%, 30%, 30% averaging into that position. And it's just a smart risk management method to not go all in and then you're screwed when it goes down a little bit. You feel like you have to go heavier in it, buy the dip, even though you didn't want the position size, even though your conviction level was not high enough to want to have that big enough position, but you feel obligated to because you see that red in your portfolio. The mental side of trading is one of the most important things you can do, and averaging in, being smart with your position sizes, being smart with how you get into the positions, and averaging in. Those are going to be key things to focus on going into 2021. And one of my main focuses is just having that reduce the risk no matter what happens in the market overall. So also in 2020, we saw some crazy hot sectors. Some examples of sectors that we've seen get hot is the EV sector, the SPAC sector. We saw cannabis start to get hot a couple months ago. We had blockchain and crypto plays. And of course, a bunch of other sectors getting very, very hot. And I do think hot sectors, like we've seen this past year, are going to continue. Reason because of this influx of new investors and traders in the market. They are playing off this hot sector. Everybody wants that quick money. So everybody floods into these stocks that are in the hot sector and they just start flying. So I do think we see that trend continuing. So a big focus of mine is focusing on these hot sectors going into 2021. A sector that I think will get hot early 2021 in Q1. I think we see cannabis start to get hot again. I think the EV sector it's cooling off right now. I do think we see that get hot again. We obviously could see crypto keep getting hot as long as Bitcoin keeps flying, hitting all-time highs repeatedly. And other hot sectors potentially getting hot. We've seen the genomic space get hot recently. We've also seen IPOs. A sector that I am keeping an eye on is I think the space exploration sector. I think this could start taking off even more, especially with the Virgin Galactic. That is one of the only stocks in the market that's in this space right now. But if we see more IPOs, more space exploration IPOs like a lot of people expect, such as SpaceX going on the market, I think we could see this sector get very, very hot with a bunch of new IPOs coming in, a bunch of these new companies. I do think at some point in 2021, we are going to see space exploration get hot. And of course, sectors that none of us have even thought about, psychedelics, any other sectors you can think of. Just keep a watch list of sectors overall. And my plan is trying to front run these sectors. So right now, I'm starting to average into some of these cannabis plays because I do think the cannabis space gets hot early 2021. Like I was saying, you could start front running the space exploration sector, buying SPCE on dips, and any other potential hot sectors you can think of. So hot sectors will be a big focus of mine going into 2021. Alright, so I just wanted to get this video out there, just my overall plan going into the stock market in 2021. I do plan on having a top stock video out for my top plays in 2021, not just short term but long term as well. So I plan on having that video out in the next couple of days and just preparing that mindset going into this next year, what we should expect for the market overall. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you're interested in the private stock group, that link is down below. If you want to get 4 free stocks from Webull, that actually ends today, so I highly recommend you get that now if you have not already. Also, if you want to get $5 free in Acorn investing, $10 free in Bitcoin on Coinbase, those links are down below as well. Those are affiliate links, so it does help support the channel. And thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. I do appreciate that. And yeah, let's keep trading smart, go into every trade with a plan, and make some money in 2021. Thanks for watching, guys.